Hi everyone, welcome to the Sacred Water. I hope you guys are doing well. This is for Leo, Sagittarius, Sag, so fire signs. This is your turn for your monthly reading. So this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and it's also general. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Cross watchers, welcome. And if you're just expanding and broadening your understanding of your month by checking out your other placements, then you're more than welcome here too. Anything that calls to you is what's right for you. So that being said, I also wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of you people that have subscribed, left lovely messages, left beautiful thumbs up, and have been sharing the videos. This has really helped out the channel. Let's continue to grow the channel, and let's continue leaving all of these comments and thumbs up because all of these really truly help out the channel. They tell YouTube that you are loving the content, and it's telling me that you're loving the content, so I continue to create and YouTube continues to put it in front for everybody to see, so everybody gets a chance to connect not only with me but with you guys as well. So let's continue to strive to go towards 1,000 subscribers. I am hoping that we can get there by, let's say, Christmas. That would be fantastic. So let's keep the work up. Let's continue to support each other, and we'll see where we go. Before we start, let's cleanse you guys and myself and the space and the tools so that we start out with a nice clean platform and creating that sacred and protected space so that we can call in our guides and really make that information flow for you guys. So here we go. A bit humid in the house, so things take a little bit of time to light. Here we go. Cleanse both our energies, the space, and the tools so that we might have a clean start, a clean space, a protected space, a sacred space from which to receive our messages. So mote it be. Alright, like that in there. Alright, I call in your guides and my guides to this cleansed, blessed, and sacred space so that the information flows and I may be able to receive it and understand it clearly and be able to articulate it clearly for all of those watching, so they may get the messages and information that they need at this time. So mote it be and blessed be. Wonderful. So that being done, let's get into your readings. All right, Aries, this is your turn for this month. Let's see what the spirits have to say for you right now. Okay. Gods and spirits, what does beautiful Aries need to know right now for the month of September? What do they need to know right now? What energies are coming towards them? And how best to manage the energy coming towards them? Let's get some information and advice for beautiful Aries. Please guide beautiful Aries for their highest and greatest good. What do they need to know right now? Let's have 3 cards, please. What do we need to know right now for the month of September for Aries? I'm getting a sense of excitement and anticipation for something that is about to happen. And it feels like while the excitement and anticipation is good, they're wanting you to sort of tamper it down a little. It feels like there is something that needs to be dealt with first before this can actually go through. I'm not entirely certain. Let's see how that's pertinent with your cards in your reading today. If at all, maybe that was just a passing message for someone that needed to hear it at this time. So the first card that we have is tear down the walls around your heart. Give and receive security and warmth. Interesting. Now I know it's not all Aries. I just happen to have a lot of Aries people in my life and have known several throughout my life, and there has always been this wall is a good term, yes, a sort of protective shield when it comes to their emotions. They have a lot of power and strength and passion behind what they do, but usually there is a veneer of logic, as it were, that usually is projected outwards. So I'm not saying that there's a level of coldness, but there is a sense that at least this has been my experience with a lot of Aries, and I know, like I said, I'm not trying to generalize here. There's a lot of different type of people out there, but my experience has been that in order to protect a lot their heart, they have left the brain to rule. So that's usually what is going to be projected and what's going to come out first, especially when you're dealing with them from, on the day-to-day. This is how my father is. So he is very practical, and he pretty much sort of focuses mostly on these things. On the day-to-day practical emotions make him a little bit uncomfortable, but that's probably because he's rather sensitive on the inside, and it's an element of self-protection, I find. Okay, so a wonderful surprise is coming. Something entirely new awaits you. So this feeling of anticipation probably is related to your reading. We will confirm that later on, but this seems to me like it is a pretty big confirmation. If you know about it, then the anticipation is probably doubled. If you don't, you probably are feeling the stirrings of this something that is coming down. Sometimes we sort of feel that level of anticipation, even though we're not sure why, and we're not entirely certain because there's nothing really scheduled. But sometimes we get that feeling in the butterflies in the stomach, and you're trying to figure out what is this. But it's your subconscious and your higher self in communication with your spirit guides and spirit, knowing that there's something that is coming up. So wonderful surprise is coming. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. This one, it says, you are caught up in drama. Act to free yourself and change and blossom again. Okay. So this is interesting because it really tells me that this wall thing really has to do with either present or past trauma, or drama, as they put it there. Something that is a little too much and a little hard to handle. So the walls automatically go up as a, red alert, shields up, as they say in Star Trek all the time. So and they're telling you it's time to sort of process through and remove yourself from that particular energy. Bring down the shields so that you can make way for this beautiful surprise that is coming. So that's the first kind of message that's coming in for you, Aries. Let's see what else is coming down for you. All right. Gods and spirits, please guide beautiful Aries for the highest and greatest good. What do they need to know right now? What energies are coming down for them? What can they expect from this month? and how best to navigate whatever energy is coming down for them. Ooh. It's been a lot of issues for me lately when it comes to the cards. Not sure why. It's like a level of resistance. Okay. Last one. All right. What else do they need to know right now, gods and spirits? Please guide beautiful Aries for their highest and greatest good. What did they need to know for the month of September, please? Okay, we have the first one. It is the Seven of Pentacles. Very nice. What else do we need to know right now, gods and spirits? They're drawing my attention to the surprise card. There is like a star chart or map between the fan that she wears and just behind her. Now, this is telling me that it's probably something that you have wanted to receive and manifest for a very long time. Now, there seems to be like a discontinuity in the map, as it were, or the star chart. So it feels like there has been a big gap of time and a gap in information or knowledge that would have bridged the two and made a whole cohesive map. So whatever this is going to come in and fill in the rest of the missing information and sort of jump timeline, as it were. There's a sense of jumping timeline. So there's something rather critical in what is coming down because it seems pivotal in some way. So I'm not entirely certain. Also, they're showing me the color of the eyes. The color of her eyes matches the color on the star chart. So there seems to be that there is a small amount of vision towards the end goal. This is the only, it's not a bridge, it's more of a stepping stone that you had that is allowing you to finally bridge that gap and finally close in that distance and get what you have been trying to manifest. Now, there is a strong sense of feeling of time. So either you put this in the works a long time ago and it's taken this long for you to receive it, but it also, there is that sense of jumping timelines, and I don't quite understand it, but this is what I'm getting. So I'm putting out to you guys. I'm actually curious if you know or understand what this is referring to. Like I said, this is not my reading, this is for you guys. So there's also this sense of needing to feel it more when you're manifesting. So by tearing down the walls, you're actually allowing yourself to feel as you're manifesting, because you need to, there needs to be that strong emotion, that initially strong emotion when you're trying to manifest something, because it tells spirit that this is something that you truly want, that you're not wishy-washy about it. It doesn't mean that you're going to be too attached to it, but you do have to have that emotion when you put in the order into the universe, if that makes any sense. I hope it is. Okay, let's see what else. All right, gods and spirits, what else does beautiful Aries need to know right now? Please guide them for their highest and greatest good. We have the Hermit. There we go, the Hermit. So Seven of Pentacles, Hermit. What else? Okay, we have the Two of Cups. Very nice energy. Okay, what else? We have the Queen of Swords. There are those berries we were talking about. Okay. Also with the Hermit, we're talking about also about removing oneself from the source of the drama or trauma. Whether it is current, past situation, it certainly has affected you. Ooh, okay. This is too many. Too many. Two more, please. What else does Aries need to know right now, Ghosts and Spirits? Okay. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. It's almost like she's holding aloft a prize of some sort. Admiring it in the sunshine. Okay, what else? Can we have one more card, please? Okay. This is... Okay, I'll take them. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. Let's see, can you see it? There we go. The Hierophant. And to end your reading, we have a Justice and the Queen of Wands that came out together. Okay. So there is definitely this sense of removing yourself from the energy. Whether the situation is ongoing or not, I cannot tell. Because again, there is a lot of time aspects going on in this reading that I can't quite put my finger on. And it might vary from person to person as well. So we're not going to really say, we're just going to put it to past or present. So they're wanting you to take a step back for a moment and really try to go within. Removing yourself from that energy is going to be first and foremost key and pivotal. And I understand that in some cases things are ongoing, especially if there is legal components or matters, which is coming up also with the Justice. If there are legal matters involved, you might not have a choice but to revisit the situation. But at the same time, this is not happening every day, all day long. So while you can, when you can, put it up on the shelf. And one thing that I have to say that Aries is pretty good at is compartmentalizing, which allows them to deal with a lot of things, a lot of aspects at the same time. But it also produces this at the end of the day, a little bit of a shield. So use this gift that you guys have. Put this energy on the shelf, as it were, by really trying to have a moments of peace and quiet in which you go within. You can take any shape or form that you want, whether it's walking in the woods, hiking, meditation, yoga, simply going in a quiet spot in your house or home and having a good book to read. Just somewhere where you can sort of disconnect from that energy and have a chance to really go within and have a good thought, have a good moment of really going inside and analyzing if you have shields up, where they are, and maybe consider why they were there in the first place. And is it really necessary to have them up all the time? doing this exercise will actually be of great benefit to you, because then you'll understand when it's necessary to have the shields up and when it is not necessary to have it up, and allow yourself to be open and to feel, and especially when you're trying to manifest things in your life, it is important to feel it deep down within. Like I said, this is not about carrying a great deal of attachment to the outcome, but it is something that you sit down and you say, wow, that would be really great if I had this, or if this were to happen, or, you know, just have a moment and really feel what it is that you want. It is all well and good to know it and to have that sort of cerebral knowledge, but sometimes when it comes to manifestation, it's more about the soul and the heart, and manifesting from heart level. And all of this has to do with emotions. And it's really interesting how there's only one. There's a lot of fire here, earth, air. But this is the only cups that you have. This is the only water. This is the only emotion. And notice that it's the Two of Cups, and it's pretty positive. So what I'm getting here is, if you go through the exercise of trying to understand how it is that you react to emotional situations, trying to understand where your blocks are, where your walls or shields are, and when do you put them up? Are they up all the time, and all that stuff? So really truly analyze how it is that you are reacting to things and people. Are there any triggers? If not, then why? If there are triggers, how are you reacting? Are you putting up the shields right away and sort of going cold and quiet and simmering inside that fire element within you, simmering inside, ready to just sort of roast something? So really sitting down and really analyzing these things about yourself will be extremely beneficial, because then instead of having general boundaries and sort of not allowing people in and pushing people and situations out all the time, especially if they make you a little uncomfortable and they're outside your wheelhouse, the Queen of Swords here is really truly asking you to really re-examine and figure out, are these healthy boundaries or are they not? If they're not healthy boundaries, then you have to reassess and reorganize yourself so that you know how and when and where it is appropriate to have healthy boundaries. But having boundaries all the time, that makes this impenetrable wall that doesn't allow anything or anyone in, will not allow this bridging of the gap for this one thing that you've been trying to manifest for what it seems like a very long time. At the very least, this is what the card is telling me, that it's been a long time that you have put in this order to the universe, and for some reason there hasn't been the chance to really get it through. Like you had a small glimpse of it, it was a small stepping stone in the right direction, but it didn't really complete the trip to the other side, as it were, if we're looking at the star chart. So it starts out here in your past. So now it's in the back of your mind. You had a moment with the eye, same color as the chart, if you see. That is your stepping stone. But now you have to cross the last gap. So this is your last gap. This is understanding that emotions play a big role in it. And while boundaries are great, they have to be healthy boundaries. Otherwise, you're keeping everything and everyone at a distance. And this is not benefiting you in any possible way. So once you have gone within and really done this work, Spirit is saying it will be worth it with the Seven of Pentacles. You will be able to reap rewards from this exercise, because you will be more conscious of your own self and your own reactions and how it is that you're dealing with things on the day-to-day, and learning how to put up boundaries in which you're still comfortable, but at the same time you're not blocking yourself out from beautiful experiences that you could have. Because I have a feeling that with this, you probably have had thwarted chances, as it were, to manifest this, but it didn't actually actualize and became concrete in your life. But with the Ace of Pentacles, it's telling me that once you go through this process, there is the bridging of the gap. That's when the concreteness of what you're trying to manifest will start to appear. You and your wish will come together in a very celebratory, very happy way, by realizing that you've accidentally been keeping everything and everyone at a margin, at a distance. You might not have realized that you were even doing this. It might have been an automatic thing due to whatever situation you have lived, drama or trauma or both. But by going within and realizing all of this about what has been happening, you can then take conventional steps or spiritual steps to where you want to be, where you want to go. So at the end of the reading, more of your passionate self will come out. You're going to be following that passion within, and you're going to be experiencing a sort of effervescent level up is what I'm hearing. I have no clue what that means. It sounds fantastic. I would like to have that. But it feels like things come into focus, and it is allowing you to finally feel more deeply, using that passionate fire element within you to actually bring forth what it is that you want. And it's not only with this, but with anything else that you might want in your life, and to manifest it. By balancing this out and really creating this appropriate balance when it comes to your shields, your boundaries, by creating healthy boundaries instead of perpetual boundaries that keep everybody and their goat out. If you balance it out, you can see more. See that she has a little band across her eyes is a little bit lifted, and she is actually able to see. So using this knowledge with the book, using this knowledge about yourself, you can actually level things out. And then you start realizing that you can achieve a level of balance in which you can still feel comfortable and protected, but still be able to take those leaps of faith and still be able to use that fire within you to actually bring forth your manifestations. But it all starts by going within and realizing, how are you using your powers? So that's what I've got here. I'm going to be using this is new to me, the Rebecca Campbell, the Rose Oracle. By the way, the original oracle that I used is the Soul Helper Oracle and the Deborah Blake Everyday Witch Tarot. As usual, everything will be down in the description below, so if you're attracted to any of these decks, the information will be there. So let's get some advice for you. 1 or 2 cards, please. Gods and spirits, what advice do you give beautiful Aries for this coming month? Also, with the Justice card, if there are legal issues surrounding this trauma situation, it will be resolved favorably. This is part and parcel also with these new interior changes that are being created within you, because it's allowing you to manifest the outcome. So it seems to me that the outcome is going to be rather favorable, especially with the Ace of Pentacles there. All right. Let's get some advice, please, or any other information that you would have for Aries for this month. Please, God, beautiful Aries, for their highest and greatest good. Too many. What do they need to know? What advice is there to give them? Or any other information, please. Okay. A rose without thorns. There we go, about removing blocks and removing any sort of thing that would actually be preventing your... If the shields are up all the time, you won't be able to get the good stuff too. So it says you have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. So that's exactly what we're talking about here. It's about not always having that need to have the shields up all the time, because yeah, it doesn't allow for the bad stuff to come in, or negative emotions, or, you know, dealing with the drama and trauma and all sorts of nasties that might be coming your way. But it also blocks beautiful experiences that you might be missing out on, and you're definitely missing out on. So there is something to be said about balance. Everything in moderation. So that includes your shields. They also want me to pull this one. Breathing a rose. Heart healing. Emotions. Connections. Time eases. So there is also the element of time that we've been talking about. And there is also connecting with one's emotions and not always bearing them up, or hiding them behind that shield so that they're constantly in a neutral. This is about feeling your emotions and feeling it, especially when you're trying to manifest something, especially something that you have been trying to manifest for a very long time. And this was the missing link. This was the missing information. Understanding that shields are great, but shields all the time don't allow you to actually bring in stuff as well, the good stuff. Very good. Let's close out your reading with one rune. Okay, there we have that rune. Let's get the little booklet. Okay, let's see. Let's get this one out of the way. Here we go. So this rune here is, let's see, there we go. Isa. Its meaning is ice, frozen in time, concentration, stasis, non-action, psychological blocks, and standstill. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Essentially, what you have done is erected a wall of ice to protect you. And they're saying that wall has to come down because you have pretty much put yourself into stasis. You have to concentrate instead on removing those blocks and not standing still in life, because you're missing out on things by staying completely in neutral and not allowing those shields to come down and allow the good stuff in. There, like I said, there is something in balance and appropriate healthy boundaries, but having a complete wall erected to protect you will prevent beautiful things from coming into your life, especially if you're trying to manifest things in your life. Feeling your emotions when it comes to that and using that beautiful fire energy within you is what's going to get you through. They're also saying something about psychological blocks. So if you can deal with them doing shadow work, that's great. Other ways are, spiritual ways are great as well. Also, if you need to, I would highly suggest seeing a therapist of some sort to help you through if things go a little bit deeper, depending on what the situation is that started this whole thing in the first place. All right, Aries, that is all I've got for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed your reading and that it has been helpful in some way. If it has, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, leaving a thumbs up in the comment down below. It doesn't have to be only for me. You can go ahead and talk with the other members of the community as well. This is all about helping each other out and having a more holistic way of dealing with our health and our well-being. So I hope that you have a great day, a great week, a great month. Lots of love and light to you. Blessed be. Hi Leo, it's your turn. This of course is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Cross watchers, welcome. And if you're expanding further into your chart, there might be something here for you as well. So welcome in. Let's see what the gods and spirits have for you today. All right, gods and spirits. What does beautiful Leo need to know right now? What is coming down for them this week? How best to navigate the energies? Please guide beautiful Leo for their highest and greatest good. What do they need to know right now for the month of September, please? Okay, we have our first one. Release your creative energies and make use of them in your life. Very nice. What else do they need to know right now, gods and spirits? What does beautiful Leo need to know right now? Okay, here we go. Interesting. Flames of desire. Let them shine out and radiate light and shun dark paths. Very interesting. All right. Too many. Let's have one more, please. What else do we have for Leo for the month of September? Can we have one more card, please? Gods and spirits, please guide beautiful Leo for their highest and greatest good. What else do we need to know right now? Okay, here we go. The time is right. Seize the day and make progress on your soul path. Beautiful. So, for your first messages today, there is a call from Spirit to use a lot more of that beautiful creative energy within you. Fiery energy, it tends to be very, very creative. It has that passion and spark within. So you're being called forth to use it more in your day-to-day life, in all aspects of your life. On your work, when you're playing hard, when you're relaxing, to use that beautiful energy that you have within in your day-to-day life. They're also telling you to use that energy, to use that light, the light within you and the element that you represent so beautifully. They're telling you to let it lead the way. It will light the path, especially if you're feeling like you can't see the path forward and you don't know which way to turn. They're saying go within and open your heart and let your heart lead. It is your passions that are going to point the way forward in the right direction. This is not only your heart space, but it's also your soul connecting with your higher self and your spirit guides and spirit, and they are literally guiding you, even in a very quiet way, with your passions, with your wants, with your desires. They're pointing the way into the right direction. So while the path might be dark and obscure and you might not necessarily know which way to head, they're saying feel it. Feel your way through it. with the last card, it seems to me that this is connected with your life's purpose, what you came here to do. If you are wondering which way to go in order to create this and manifest this for yourself, they're saying that, especially if you use creativity and your passions, the way will open up for you. And this is the right time. This is the divine timing telling you it's here and now. This is where you're going to take that fork on the road, and it's that way. They're telling you exactly which way to go. So all you have to do is listen. And it's telling you how to make progress on how to develop not only that part of yourself and that part of your life, but how to achieve the goals and actualize the purpose for which you came onto this earth. So this has to do most 100% with your North Node. So I would suggest, if you don't have any idea what the North Node is essentially, in everyday parlance, it would probably be like your North Star, your guiding star, telling you exactly what it is that you were meant to do. Now, if you don't know where it falls and sort of trying to discover what it is that you came here to do, get yourself a chart. There are ways of getting free charts online. Astro Cafe, I think, is one of them. You put in as much data as you have of your date of birth. If you have the time and the place, put it in there as well. And it will produce a chart that you can actually print out or keep in the memory banks in your phone or whatever. Somewhere where you can consult it if you need it. And it will tell you where your North Node falls. In my case, it falls into Cancer. So it had everything to do with caring for others, being of service, and using your spirit, in my case, using my spiritual gifts to help others in their spiritual path. So I am actually doing my North Node. This is my North Star. So I am actually following the footsteps and living exactly what it was that I am supposed to do on this earth. Now, we all are meant to do something different, and that it's all important and beneficial to all of us, whether it be through art, whether it be through music, or I don't know, producing programming that would be helpful for people for different situations. Whatever it is for you, it is important because it is an aspect that is coming and filling in a need in the new earth that we are creating. Now, that seems like an odd concept for some, especially if you're new to the spiritual path. Essentially, what it is that not only are we trying to recreate ourselves and create a path that leads to our true authentic selves and our spiritual path and our North Node, and living out our purpose and bringing in fulfillment and bringing in happiness and joy, because we all have that right. It is our birthright, and we should be living it. Granted, there are things that happen, and that's okay. We all sort of have to navigate through these things. They're all part and parcel of the learning curves and preparing ourselves for our purpose. But that being said, we all have a right to our happiness. And if you have found that you have had trouble or have had many doors closed, especially lately, closing in on you and not understanding why, or knowing which way to turn, this will be of great help. It will really open your eyes to understanding more about your experiences that you have been having on this earth, and the best ways to navigate through it. Of course, as readers, we try to help you out as much as we can with the information, but then again, especially in this mode, it is a bit general. So, we try to bring in and shine in as much light as possible. This is all part and parcel of having a holistic way of healing and viewing the world and navigating the world. So that's why I provide both the readings and the healings to help support you on your journey. So if you've been having a lot of trouble in that sense, This is why, because it's the time to turn from whatever else, other experiences or other jobs or whatever else that you've been doing. It's time to refocus and turn the steering wheel in the right direction. All of these things were great. They made you who you are. They made you resilient. You've learned a lot of things, and you'll be able to use these things where you're going. So this is exactly what you needed to do, and that was exactly what you needed to live through, and it's made you who you are, and that's perfect. That's exactly what was needed for the job at hand, essentially. So let's see what else Spirit has for you. So don't despair. There are answers, and part of those answers lie within. Usually they do, because again, you are connected to your higher self and your spirit guides and spirit, and all you have to do is listen, and they will guide you. Things start straightening out after you steer things in the right direction. I can attest to that. Not to say that their life isn't hard and, you know, there aren't bumps in the road, because they totally are. But things start falling into place. Things start making sense. I can tell you that. Having lived through it myself. We all do, to be honest. And it takes sometimes a long time to really find ourselves and really understand what it is that we're meant to do. Answers don't always come when you're a teenager and you're going into college. That's a great stepping stone in life, and it's all cumulative experiences and knowledge, and they build you up, and none of it is for nothing. They all have a purpose and a reason. It's made you you, and that's beautiful. Okay, soapbox over. Let's see what else the spirits have for you. All right, your first card, Leo, is the Lovers. Very nice. What else does Leo need to know right now, gods and spirits? Please guide beautiful Leo for their highest and greatest good. Okay, all right then. We have Temperance. Very nice. We also have the Knight of Wands. Very nice. What else does Leo need to know right now, gods and spirits? Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Very nice. What else does Leo need to know right now, gods and spirits? Please guide beautiful Leo for their highest and greatest good. What do they need to know right now? Okay, there we go. We have the Page of Pentacles. And we have the King of Cups. Very nice. At the bottom of the deck, we have Strength. All right. So there's definitely been this thing of choice. Which is the best way to go? Which way should I choose to go? It seems to me like you've been balancing out ideas in your head, but none of them have felt quite right. And therein lies the answer. Like it says here, let them shine, let the flames of desire shine out in radiant light. Shun the dark paths. So they are saying, let your heart lead the way. If the previous choices did not feel right, that is your answer, because whatever it is, the endeavors that you have been embarking on, they have not had the space or the possibility for creativity. I'm not saying that they were stifling your creativity or anything like that, but it seems to me like you need an environment in which creativity is fostered and creativity is used every day. And this is part of the passion. This is part of that beautiful fire energy within that needs to be utilized in your day-to-day life. This is about your heart leading the way. This is about your passion being your work. What's the saying? If you choose what you love to do work, you don't work a day in your life, something like that. You get what I'm trying to say here, I hope. But essentially what it is that you have to, the best course of action when it comes to this is really understanding what it is that feels right for you. What is your heart telling you? And going forth from a heart-centered space. Going from, understanding what it is that you are passionate about, because this is what's going to carry you through in your day-to-day tasks. Because no matter what job you do, no matter what it is that you're doing in your life, if you don't love or enjoy what you're doing, at the end of the day, you are drained. At the end of the day, you feel empty, defeated, don't really want to do anything, don't really want to tackle. It just becomes drudgery. If you've had a lot of instances also where those are closing on you and you don't quite understand why, this is pretty much the universe telling you that you're not in alignment with this, because this is not in alignment with what you came to do on this earth. This is nothing to do with your North Node. And while you may have studied this and you might have been, it might have been great and cool when you were in college and all that, you were a different person then. You didn't have the experiences that you have now. You don't have the same mindset about a lot of things. You don't have, you definitely have different or more, especially more, responsibilities to deal with in your day-to-day life. So you're viewing things from a completely different perspective than you were, say, when you were in college. So once you go within, especially with Temperance, Temperance is an interesting card to have in this spread, because usually she has one foot in the water and one foot at land. So usually she is balancing out emotions and balancing out her physical needs. In this case, she has one foot in the air and one foot in the ground, and one eye open and one eye closed. And she is, behind her, there is a computer, there is drinks, there is, oddly enough, sweets and carrots and in a book. So this is about coming to terms with the fact that certain things are not working, coming to terms with understanding more of yourself and what it is that you want out of your life, what it is that you came here to do, understanding all of these things, and understanding that even though who you used to be, what you used to do, was an integral part of what you did and who you were in the past, that has changed because you have changed, you have grown, you have expanded beyond the previous parameters, as it were. And this is not a bad thing. It just means that you were built up to this point to now embark into this journey. All of your previous knowledge, all of your previous experiences are the prerequisites to embark on this journey. So it wasn't for nothing. And that is something that you might have to come to terms with, because it's not easy sometimes saying, well, this job or this career no longer fulfills me. Why? That means I have to leave it. But that means leaving behind all this hard work that I have done to come to this point in my life where I have a good job, I have a good position, I have a good pay. I'm going to be leaving all of that. And I worked very hard to get that. But Spirit is wanting you to not see it from that perspective. Although I admit sometimes it's very hard to do so. But it's more about coming to terms with the fact that how do I put this into words that might make sense? It's about understanding that, again, like I said, it was not for nothing. It has built you up to the point where you have gained the knowledge and the expertise necessary to embark in the new journey. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be new learning things to do, because it usually does. Whatever this is, of course, I'm equating this to a career, probably because it's easier to interpret it that way for you to understand the kind of energy that we're talking about. But this could be anything. It could be anything in life. It could be a marriage. It could be, let's say you bought a house, you put a lot of heart and soul into making it up, and while it's absolutely beautiful and it fulfilled your expectations and everything was decorated just exactly as you wanted, that connection is no longer there. It's not about abandoning the house, or it's not about like, well, I just put on so much work into this and now I'm not happy about it. No, it's you had a purpose in that particular place for that particular time, and now it's time to move up. That's essentially what we're talking about here. And once you, oh, hello, Opal. Yes, you're very beautiful. Yes, you can see yourself. Can we move on now? Thank you. Yes, I sort of blocked your way to the window, didn't I? Okay, hang on. Stand by. Stand by. In you go. Go on then. All right, here we go. Fantastic. She's happy on the window, and we can proceed. So once you've come to terms with this realization, because it is a realization and it is a bit of a transformation that you're going through, then you can actually make the choice of following the right path, because the right path will be illuminated for you once you actually understand that your heart is going to tell you which way is the right way to go. With the Knight of Wands, it almost feels like you are going and you're going to conquer something, and it feels to me like this is exactly the energy that you're going to be embracing. Once the realization is in and you've sort of made peace, and you know, if you had to do a bit of mourning, you did a bit of mourning, but again, we're not talking about big time mourning here or anything. It's more of a, well, it's time to say goodbye to this situation, whatever. And it sort of feels like you put on your clothes, you put on your big boy pants or your big girl pants, and you go out there and you start doing the work that is necessary in order to go into your correct path. The one that has been identified by your heart, your passions. That is the biggest thing, because this is where it begins with emotions. It becomes concrete in the 3D world. So the emotions that and the ideas that are floating in your head, this is where thoughts become things. That's what I'm hearing. Thoughts become things. So this is where it becomes concrete, and all of a sudden you have a roadmap to follow. You have a signpost. You have the arrow pointing you in the right direction. And having this energy of, I'm ready, let's go. Let's do this. That is the right kind of energy to embrace coming forward. With the Nine of Pentacles right here, this tells me that in a very short amount of time, or what it feels like a very short amount of time, you're going to be achieving, at the end of the day, you're going to be achieving great things. It is, especially if you have been experiencing a lot of doors closing, this is where you're going to start seeing a difference. Doors are going to start opening. Opportunities are going to be showing up. You're going to be able to feel your way through and know which step, at each step out of the way, you're going to be feeling your way through, and you're going to be knowing exactly where it is you're going to be going. And you are going to be opening up the doors to prosperity in all its levels. You're going to be very comfortable where you're going. It might be a little bit uncomfortable now when you're beginning the journey, and that usually is the case. But at the end of the day, look at you sitting pretty in that amazing, huge throne in the middle of calm seas. He has a cup in one hand. He's got a broom on his side. He's got the telescope that allows him to see further on. Like we were saying, water, cup is emotions. He is the king. He is completely at his ease. The seas are calm. He is able to foresee things as they come because he's using his heart space to feel through as he goes. He is using the emotions to give him that signpost to be able to see which way is the right direction. And things are coming to him. He doesn't have to go out and get them all. That's not to say that you, because again, we are embracing the I'm going out and I'm going to go get it. And that is absolutely correct, because you're using that passion to get the journey started. You're using that passion in order to manifest and bring to you what it is that you're looking for. And like I said, here we have dolphins, and we have little fish, goldfish, and we have a mermaid. So essentially, like I said, the opportunities are going to be coming to you, and you are going to be able to foresee which one is the right one, because you are using your passions as the barometer, as the compass that is leading you in the right direction. This is going to lead to empowerment. This is you, Leo. This is your card. You are appearing in a very strong position. You're the one in control of the energy that you're putting forth. So using that, I know that there, especially underneath is the moon card, there's a little bit of fear. There's a little bit of fear in you at this point in time, but that's completely normal, because it's kind of like you're going into an unknown. But Spirit is saying you don't have to feel that way. If you go within, you know exactly which way to go, because you are communicating with your higher self, your spirit guides, and spirit. Your whole spirit team is behind you, and they're going to be helping you each and every way. And the way you'll know the right answer is because it'll feel right. So let's get a couple more cards for you. Just one probably would be best. We don't want to make this too long. You got places to be, people to see, mountains to conquer. So let's not keep it. All right, guys, gods and spirits. What else does beautiful Leo need to know for the month of September? Let's have one card, please. One card. This is too many. One card for Leo, please. By the way, if you're ever interested in any of the card decks that I am using, they're down in the description below. You will get all the information you need for the decks, and then you can find a deck of your own. All right, gods and spirits, please guard beautiful Leo for their highest and greatest good. What do they need to know for the month of September? Okay, here we go. The fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. So, as we were talking about, especially with the secret beginnings, all of this was starting deep within your soul. As you were nearing the time to start this new journey, there were probably small realizations that, and to a certain extent, you weren't able to use your creativity. This was storing up inside you. You weren't feeling things anymore the way you used to. There is this absolute feeling of not, things not feeling right anymore. Like you've outgrown them. And these are the secret beginnings of the new journey. These are the secret beginnings. These are the ones, the deep below the surface stirrings. Stirring your heart and soul, knowing that the time is reaching where this part of yourself has to come out. So sorry, my allergies are at an all-time high right now. I know it's not very elegant, but there it is. So taking that moment to rest and really understanding where the issue lies, that is your inner winter. That is your rest. This is part and parcel of taking the time and being patient with the process. It is not an easy process. It is a I'm hearing it takes time to build up the pressure. If we're talking about, for example, the stirrings of a volcano. In this case, it's very hard to see perhaps, but you see a person there, and she is expelling out that creativity, that life, and it's coming from within. And it's taken time for it to build up enough that it comes out of her or him. This is not a gender specific reading. So there is potency in that buildup. There's potency in those emotions that are building up inside. That buildup of creativity within. It takes time for that energy to get to the point where it rises up to the surface. And while it is, part of it is happening unconsciously and it's happening deep down inside, at some point it's going to get to the point where it reaches the surface. It comes out. It has no choice. It bursts through. So what they're saying here with this is that you might not necessarily understand where this is coming from, but it's taken time for you to come to this point in time in your life with the, as I said before, the prerequisites to embark in the journey. Hello, Miss Opal. You are a little rascal, you are. You're saying hello to everybody? Okay, she's done. So it might have taken a long time to get to this point. And it might feel a little bit like you've wasted a long time and a lot of effort into what you have been doing for a very long time. But this is not the case. This is This is you having done what you had to do to build yourself up to this point in time. Divine timing is at play here. There is no doubt about it. And there is definitely that stirring within, and it's time to listen. Indeed. So to close out your reading, let's get you one. There we go. One rune. See what the spirits have to say. Okay. Let's see. Can I find it? No, that's not it. Nope. There we go. All right. This is your rune. This is the Sowilo. It is the letter S. It means sun. The happiest card in the deck is the sun. It just, its associations are good guidance, wholeness, awareness, hope, goals achieved, individual victory, and honor. You can't make this stuff up. Essentially what they're saying is that the guidance that you are looking for is within. Okay? It is that wholeness and awareness of yourself and your needs and your passions that are leading the way here. So absolutely listen to them. This is going to lead you to achieve your personal goals, and your victory, your individual victory is assured. It is an honor to go through these processes. It is definitely it's not everybody that manages to find themselves. Sometimes it's very hard for people to understand that we all came here with a particular job, as it were, to do in this lifetime, and not everybody gets to find out what that is. But you are courageous. I mean, you're Leo. That is courage. Leo is sun. Leo is fire. You have the power within to explore what it is that is inside and realize what it is that you want and need for your future. And if things haven't been speaking to you lately and things haven't really been feeling right lately, it's because you have achieved what you were supposed to achieve in the place that you are now. Now you have gained enough knowledge and information to get you started in your actual journey to your next node, and to what you're supposed to be doing now, and what what you are meant to achieve in this lifetime. So take heart. This is a process, so be patient with yourself. It is not always easy. If you need any guidance or advice, more so than what you were getting from Spirit, you can always reach out to specialists in the field, or even a therapist, just to help you through the process of getting to the point where you're actually ready to embark into your new journey. As it is, you are going to be more than fine. You are going to achieve those wonderful goals that you have always wanted. You are going to get there, and you're going to love it. So says the sun. All right, Leo, this is all I've got for you for right now. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. I hope that it has been helpful in some way. If you have enjoyed it, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Leave a thumbs up and comments down below. Doesn't have to be for me. You can go ahead and interact with other people in the community. That is what this is, after all, for. This is all part of me giving you guys the most holistic help that I can in supporting you into your path. Along with the readings, there's always the healings as well. So I hope that you have a fantastic day. I hope that you have a blessed week and a blessed month. Oh, also, if you can, share it with others. And by doing all of those things, it tells YouTube that you are enjoying the content, and it tells me that you are enjoying the content, and makes sure that YouTube puts it in front for other people to see and other people to benefit from what it is that I'm providing for you guys. All the beautiful content that I'm creating for you to support you in your journey. That being said, have a blessed day, blessed week, blessed month. I'm sending you lots of love and light. Keep breathing through it. Be patient. Blessed be. Hello Sagittarius, welcome into the channel. I hope you're doing well. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Cross watchers are welcome. And if you're just looking further into your chart to expand more of your understanding of the energies for this month and how it could impact you, you're welcome as well. You never know, there might be something in this for you as well. So that being said, let's get on with your reading. All right, gods and spirits. What does Sagittarius need to know right now for the month of September? Please guide beautiful Sagittarius for their highest and greatest good. What do they need to know right now? One more. Okay. All right, gods and spirits. What does beautiful Sagittarius need to know right now? Please guide them for their highest and greatest good. What is coming up for them for the month of September? Remember that these are general readings. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And that is also timeless, even though I'm making them for the month of September. Anytime that you come across them, it is the right time for you to receive the message. So here we go. Sagittarius, please. What do they need to know for the month of September, please? There we go. Awaken your magic of your creativity. Immerse yourself in the world of feelings. Now, Leo has something very similar to this. So if you have any Leo placements, or if you're guided to do so, I would suggest watching the Leo reading as well, because creativity played a big role in their reading for this month. All right, gods and spirits, what else does Sagittarius need to know right now? Please guide them. The highest and greatest good. Cross the bridge of happiness. It leads over to the depths of your emotions. Very nice. Okay, let's have one more, please. What does beautiful Sagittarius need to know right now? Gods and spirits, please guide them for their highest and greatest good for the month of September, please. I'm hearing patience is a virtue. I don't know who needs to hear that, or if it's relevant to the reading. It might not be. It might just be a message for someone out there that is watching. But that's what's coming through at this point in time. Can we have one more card, please? I can feel it coming. There it is. All right. Recognize despair as an opportunity. Within it, you will find the gift of awakening. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So it feels like to me that you have gone through almost like a dark night of the soul. You have gone through a very hard time, and it has left you feeling left out in the cold in some way. Maybe there's a sense of isolation here, and I don't know if it is from a willing isolation in your part in order to help you heal, or if this was done to you, whatever it is, I'm sending you a lot of love. It is very hard to be in the dark night of the soul. It happens to all of us, and we all have to go through it. It is a moment of reassessment of a lot of our preconceived notions, our triggers, of really understanding oneself, what it is that you want out of life, how is it that you actually came to be in a position where you are here. Feeling rather low, feeling rather blue. It has great feelings here of a combination of the 5 of Pentacles and the 9 and 10 of Swords I'm feeling. So there's been probably a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of stress, a lot of worrying. It feels like you have gone through possibly some sort of betrayal, or simply just someone leaving you behind. I'm sending you a lot of love, Sagittarius. This is not always easy to deal with. It always, however, points to very important lessons in our lives. One thing that we have to remember, and I think this is part of the lesson here, is that how do I put that into words? There is a definite need to understand that relationships are the way we learn our lessons, and it leads us forward where we need to be. It also leads us breaking karmic patterns and generational patterns if we recognize them. So even though, as this card says, even though you might be going through despair, even though you might be going through your lowest moments right now, you have to take it as the opportunity of awakening, meaning it is the opportunity of seeing further deep within about yourself. What is it that has brought you to this point? What is it that brought you to this situation? What were you supposed to learn from it? A lot of times it is karmic patterns that we need to break, and generational patterns as well. So if we learn what it is that we are repeating, we can stop it. We can break that pattern that's been on repeat, whether it be from lifetime to lifetime or in this particular lifetime. It feels to me that there is this karmic pattern that you're learning, and I don't know if it's generational or simply yours specifically from lifetime to lifetime. I don't feel like this is a repeating pattern so much in this lifetime as it is a pattern that has repeated itself through your lifetimes, the different lifetimes. At any rate, it is something that deep down on a cellular level, I'm pretty sure that you feel and recognize as something that you are somehow familiar with. Like it's happened to you before, even if it hasn't. Although a certain portion of you, this has been a repeating pattern in this lifetime. And it is definitely karmic, and it is definitely something that we need to address, we need to identify, and we need to process and release so that we can break those patterns. Now, once that part of it is done, you are definitely crossing that bridge from a place of lack to a place of abundance, a place of realizing that whatever the situation has made you feel, that is not the case. You're a beautiful person. You're great. You're full of light. I can sense a huge amount of light within. Now, the other thing that you might have to understand here is that not everybody is going to be a good person. And not everybody is going to see the light within you and want to let you shine. A lot of people might feel dwarfed by you and might want to put you in your place, as it were, for them to be able to shine and rise instead. That is not the case for all of you. I'd say in this particular reading, that is the case for maybe 10% of you. For the rest of you, it's more about learning a big part about yourself, about identifying what it is that is preventing you to shine, preventing that shine from within to come out, and preventing you from achieving the goals that you want to achieve. It almost feels like you have been trying for a very long time to achieve your goals and achieve your happiness. Like the doors have been constantly being closed on you. You might have placements in Leo. You might have placements with Aries. If you are being guided to, I would suggest reading one of those two, because it almost feels like an amalgamation of those two readings, to be honest. It just, in your case, it feels like this journey has hit you real hard. And for that, I'm sorry. I have lived that myself. It seemed like for a very long time things were going well. You know, through high school was tough. I was in an environment that was rather toxic because culturally speaking, things here are different than from the rest of the country. And being treated like a second-class citizen in your own country was not an easy thing. It was very stifling. It was very controlling. They literally tried to smother out the fact that I was English speaking. For some of you, you might understand what it is that I'm talking about. That might give you a clue as to where in the country in Canada I live in. For those of you that don't know, I live in the province of Quebec. Living in Quebec as an Anglophone is not an easy thing. And I can tell you from experience in French high schools that I was forced to go into. I did not have the choice to choose a bilingual one or an English one. I did not have the choice. I was forced into a French system. It was quite stifling. They try to suppress your English leanings. They forbid you to even speaking English in the hallways. It was that bad. And while high school was rough, once I got into college, everything seemed to open up. Like the doors seemed to flourish and open, and everything flowed nicely. I went through different ideas as to what I wanted to do with my life. Experimenting. I went through professional theater. That didn't work out. I did then archaeology, anthropology, and psychology, and that went well. And then I focused into anthropology and archaeology when I went into university. I know, I'm a bit of a nerd. Surprise! So everything seemed to go well for a very long time while I was studying in college and university. Doors were opening, everything was smooth. I thought I knew what I wanted to do with my life. And then 2008 hit as I graduated university. And it didn't matter that I had established a lot of contacts, that I had worked in the field here in Canada and in Europe, and I knew a lot of professionals in the field, and you know, I was lining myself up to have a great career. But But 2008 came, and that was the end of my career. For a long time, there was no work. This was not just me, this was pretty much most archaeologists. And I was left floundering, trying to figure out what to do for work. So what did I have to look forward to? Not much. In a French province that is not the most hospitable to Anglophones, I am trying to be careful with my words because, again, I don't want to generalize. I had quite a few beautiful, lovely friends that were Francophone and that were very open. But the systems here are not easy to deal with and navigate. And especially when it comes to finding work, it wasn't easy. It took me a long time. I went through the longest dark night of the soul that you can imagine. And it took me a long while to really truly understand. Because it felt like doors were closed, then they opened for a short amount of time and they closed again. And it took me a long time to realize that it was Spirit saying, you learn what you needed to learn from this experience. And this was what was meant to open you up to a broader world and understanding that there's more to it than what is concrete 3D in front of you. It opened me up to different religions, to different practices. I became pagan when I was in high school. It furthered, as it were, my understanding of spirituality. It furthered my understanding on how it works in a cultural setting. It really broadened my horizons big time. But I was not meant to be digging up artifacts. That is essentially what this was about. And it took me a long time to understand and discover. And it came through my understanding through an old dream that I had when I was in high school, that I wanted to be a working witch. What did I mean by that? Helping others through spiritual work, through energy work. Whether it be healing, whether it be using a spell crafting and that sort of thing. In my head, it was all related. Granted, I was a teenager. I didn't really understand everything, but I had that dream and I sort of shelved it and I said, let's be practical, because as a Taurus, practicality is essential. We're very grounded. We're fixed earth. So being sure that my base was covered was always part of what I needed out of life. And I still need that. And so everything that I do it with a lot of grounding. But spiritual work is, let's just say, up in the air, maybe? Does that make sense? And so it seems like there's a whole reading and only 3 cards, which is interesting. I've never gone 18 minutes talking with only 3 cards. But there you have it. So definitely there is a need to come to this understanding that there are reasons for why you went through what you went through. And it happened to me as well, that I needed to understand that and really needed to understand that part of myself and embrace it and understand many aspects of what it was that I was meant to do here in this earth. And it laid in that old dream of mine, and it came back, and essentially it told me that that's what I needed to be doing. So there is your bridge to happiness, is that understanding of yourself. That is the major thing. And submerging yourself in creativity will allow you to come to that understanding of yourself. It is a media through which you will be able to put emotions into visual, if it makes sense. And if you can put it into visual, then you can make it more concrete, the idea, and then you can go forth and try to put that into the 3D world. Now let's see what else Spirit has for you for this month. And like I said, if you're called to it, I might suggest watching Leo and Aries as well, because it feels like they are related, but only if you're called to it. But it does feel like you might have some more clues as to what else you would need to know for this month. Okay. Guides and spirits, what more does Sagittarius need to know right now? Please guide them for their highest and greatest good. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have Justice. We also have the Page of Cups, and look at that. What are we talking about? Creativity, putting those emotions into images and being able to process them. You're literally submerging yourself into a world that doesn't always have words and is not always concrete. So by doing that, it helps you to make it concrete with the Two of Wands. We also have the Judgment. Very nice energy. Okay, let's have two more, please. Okay, there we go. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. Beautiful. All right. So we have the Empress. And we have the High Priestess. Beautiful. So definitely, by submerging yourself into creativity, this is going to help you bridge the gap between what is creating the problem in the first place to how you can bridge the gap into the happiness that you're trying to create and manifest for yourself. By using the creativity media, you're definitely what you're doing is synthesizing emotion into something visual, whether it be colors, shapes. It might seem a little abstract, but it's the beginnings of really communicating with your higher self, your soul, and your spirit team. This is going to allow you to put it in a form that you can then analyze. Whether it be through art therapy, this is a great way of doing it because it helps you through creative media to really submerge yourself. If you're doing it through music, this is also a possibility. Sound, it could be a very powerful thing for you. So, for example, if you go ahead and meditate or go into a drumming circle or something of the sort, that will put you in a space where the creativity of the music, the sound, the rhythm flowing through your body will put you in a state of receptivity so that you can then communicate with your higher self and your spirit team and be able to start forming or putting a voice and words to what it is that's going on inside. This is going to be your solution moving forward. There are multiple different ways, of course, but the biggest suggestion here is using creativity to really understand your emotions. Because understanding these emotions and understanding more of yourself will definitely give you that blueprint to follow, to understand where you're going, to understand what the point of all of this was and where it's leading you to, so that you can finally get to this, the happiness that you're looking for. This has the feeling of the 10 of Cups. It's missing the people and the rainbow. By doing this, you're definitely balancing out your emotions, but what you're also doing is doing justice to yourself, and justice to that inner voice, that those emotions that you're going through, and understanding what it is all about. Because otherwise, you're always constantly going to be in the state of victim mentality. And what we want to do is get out of that and be able to put our energy and our effort into things that will actually bring us happiness and fulfillment. That is primarily what we're wanting. So Spirit is saying that creativity is a really good way of doing this. If you want to have a more structured setting, seeing a therapist or seeing professionals in different fields might be very helpful as well. But the point is that what is desperately needed is a way to translate emotions into a way that you can process and understand them, because otherwise it just becomes a lot of noise, a lot of overwhelming emotions that don't have a beginning or end and don't make sense. And what we want to do is we want to get out of this energy, and we want to get into this energy, this 10 of Cup energy, the joy. What we're looking for is happiness. And the best way to do that is really understanding who we are, what do we want, what do we need, where are we going. And we need to have that clarity with the Ace of Wands. We need that clarity. And that clarity is coming. And a good way of doing that is through creativity. Also, as I mentioned before with the Two of Wands, this is definitely, once you've managed to sort of translate your emotions and translate those parts of yourself that are deep down within, that aren't always accessible and aren't always understandable. Once you've managed to communicate more clearly with your inner self, that's when you can start laying down the plans, and you realize you have the world in your hands. The world is your oyster. You just need to know what you want and where you're headed and how to get there. But knowing that is half the battle. Then you can set it on the GPS, as it were. With the Empress, knowing that in this state you are vulnerable means that understanding also that this is the time that you need the most self-care. Caring for yourself is important, especially when you're not feeling at your greatest, when you're not feeling at your highest. You have to be gentle with yourself, you have to be patient with yourself, and you have to nurture yourself. It is a time where softness with yourself is going to be very important, and understanding also that once you've gone through the talking with your inner self, as it were, and getting that message and that clarity and balancing out your emotions, then you understand that it's not always about forceful action to get you out of the situation. It's not always about pulling yourself up from your bootstraps and dusting yourself off and marching on. Sometimes you need to sit still. Sometimes you need to analyze and let the answers come to you. And let's be honest, the Empress isn't chasing after everything and everyone. She sits still. She offers love, she offers light, she offers nurturing. And by doing that for yourself, the answers and the clarity comes to you. This is something that is very, very clear about this whole situation, is that The answer lies within you, and it lies within your emotions, and lies within knowing what it is that your heart desires, your loves, your passions. It is sometimes going through your past and going, like me, what is your old dream? Take it off the shelf, dust it off, and it's time to review. Is it possible? Is this what it's supposed to be? In my case, it was. And here I am, helping you on your journey, or trying to anyways. So, with the judgment, see what I meant about using music as well as using some other forms of art media to help you? It's about using creativity, and it's about using that creativity to connect with yourself, in essence, and following that tune, the tune of your heart. We all have a drum beat, as the saying goes. Somebody that walks at the tune of their own drum beat. Well, you have yours. You just have to discover it. What is your drum beat? What is the rhythm, and what is the song of your heart and soul? Once you discover that, you just have to follow your instincts and follow it right where you need to be. Because clarity is the first step in finding that bridge to happiness. Very good. Let's get you one last card for your reading. All right, guys and spirits, let's get one more card for Sagittarius. Let's guide them for their highest and greatest good. What do they need to know right now? Any advice or further information for Sagittarius, please, for the month of September? What else do they need to know right now, gods and spirits? Let's have one more card. There we go. The Anointed. Answer the call. Leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. So definitely this is about you listening to that call of your soul, your heart and soul, and letting them lead the way. But in order to do that, you have to find a way to communicate with your higher self. This is going to lead to empowerment, and this is going to lead you to use those beautiful gifts that you came with into this earth. This is going to be what brings you empowerment, what brings you joy and fulfillment. This is what is going to be leading you in the right direction for you. This is about finding out what is your North Node, what it is that you came here to be, and why things weren't working out in the first place. It took me a long time to get there. So I completely understand that heartache, that feeling of despair at times. Like I said, I went through the darkest night of the soul and the longest that I have ever known anyone to be in. Because it took me decades to figure it out. Very good. Let's get you a final rune. Also, they were wanting me to tell you that you're not alone, and you have not been alone at all throughout this journey. They have been with you every step of the time, and I'm talking about your spirit team, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your guardian angels, and spirit. They have been with you every step of the way, and they have been there in the good times and the bad times, cheering you on in the good stuff, lending you their shoulder, as it were, to help you through the dark, low moments. But you were never alone. You are special, and there is something important that you need to know about yourself, and something important that you need to do in this lifetime. Now is the time. The time has come now. This is divine timing at work for you to embark in your nerd journey. Okay, here we have your final rune. Let's get you your parting advice or information. Like I said, don't hesitate if you need a psychologist, a therapist to help you through this. By all means, do so. This is about being holistic in our approach to our health. That means also mental health as well. We all, like I said, we all go through our dark moments, and sometimes some of us need a little bit more help than others. So there we go. This is your rune. Hopefully it's not too bad. I find a better angle for you to see it. It looks like a number 1 backwards. I hope that helps. It's the letter L. It is called Laguz. Its meaning is water, flow, emotions, renewal, life, energy. So this is, again, we're talking about our emotions. Emotions are represented by water. By being in this state, we're pretty much trapping ourselves and trapping the flow of those emotions. We're not really processing them when we're in this state. We're in a state of mourning for sure, and we're definitely in a state where we're not really open or receptive too much. But by doing the work, we're opening ourselves up, and we're opening that flow again. And it's a flow that is very vital, because we cannot, there is a safety valve within us when it comes to our emotions, and that's what keeps them in balance, so that we're not triggered, so that we can handle things properly when they come, the difficult times come. And by going through this work, you're essentially going to be renewing yourself, renewing your inner power, renewing your health, your vitality. You are embarking, in essence, into a boost of energy and entering a new phase of life. It'll feel like a brand new you, to be honest. So in essence, Spirit is saying that while there was a reason and a purpose to this, it is the opportunity to review and realize what the lesson is. It is important not to stay in that energy. This is where you, like I said, you review, you analyze, you acknowledge those emotions, you process them and let them go. If you need professional help for that, by all means, do so. That being said, creativity will be a great channel for you in order to do so, through art, through music, anything that helps you express those emotions, to put them in a way that you can see them, understand them, analyze them in order to process them. These are going to be the most beneficial for you. This is what's going to lead to the clarity that you need in order to move forward and really be able to get to the bridge in order to cross it to your happiness. So that is all I've got for you right now, Sagittarius. I hope this has been helpful. I can't say that, I hope that you enjoyed it, because it's not necessarily enjoyable to have dark aspects of oneself, come to the surface. This is all part of doing the shadow work, and it is part and parcel of what I do. It is all about, again, being holistic when it comes to our health. So I am, hopefully the reading has been helpful in some way. I will link card or two, I don't know where it would appear for you, of some of the Reiki crystal healings that I have done that might be helpful and beneficial as well, to support you in your journey through all of this. Like I said, if you need further help, don't hesitate and reach out to the right people in order to do so, because sometimes when it comes to our health, having that holistic take is actually, I would say, most of the time, if not all of the time, being holistic about it is what is the most of benefit, because then we're dealing not only with the symptoms, we're also dealing with the root causes of it, and that's what guides us to the healing path that we're going to be needing in any of these cases. So I will tell you, I did it all and it has been quite helpful, and it still is. I still immerse myself in creative projects in order to regulate and in order to express excess emotions, if you will, and it also helps me, like I said, put it into concrete, analyze it in order to release it. So that is all I have for you. I hope that it has been helpful in some way. I hope that I am sending you lots of love and lots of light. Hopefully this will be a relatively quick journey for you. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing, leaving a thumbs up, a comment down below. You don't necessarily have to talk to me. You can talk to the other members in the community. Share it so that other people, if you think would benefit from the content in this channel. Also, it lets me know that you are enjoying the content, and it lets YouTube know that you are enjoying the content as well, and it tells YouTube that other people might as well, so they put the video in front of other people, and it gets me in contact with others so that we can continue growing our community and supporting each other in this sometimes very bumpy spiritual path that we are in. And so I hope that you are well. I am sending you again lots of love and light. I hope that you have a great day, a great month, a great week. Love and light, and blessed be.